Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you're having a wonderful 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. Oh, it's that time of year again, you guys, where we actually get to be proud to be American. The rest of the year, we're supposed to be all sad about all the bad things that have happened because of our country, while we ignore all the beautiful things that have, come about because we exist. Now, I'm not going to take credit for any of those things because I'm just a shithead who talks on the internet. But there's a lot of really great things that are going on every day that our country does. And we don't get any damn credit for it. But today is the day we're allowed to actually be proud of what we are, which is the greatest nation to ever exist. And anybody out there who's like, nah, you've never been anywhere else, monkey. Yeah, go fuck yourself. You'd come here if you could, and you know it. Stop it. Anyhow, I'm not sure where I want to begin here. Well, let's do the short one first. I just saw Chris Cuomo tweeted out yesterday morning that wearing your mask is patriotic. Wearing your mask is the most patriotic thing you can do. I want to read his actual quote here. Wearing a mask is about respect. It shows you stand up when it counts. It shows you have joined the battle. It shows you care about your country. I can't think of a more patriotic thing. I'm not sure that I agree with him that there's not a more patriotic thing. But I'm absolutely sure he can't think of any. As a Democrat in the U.S., yeah, I bet that's as patriotic as he can think of. I'm wearing a mask, man. You guys see how many times this motherfucker's been on TV without a mask? It's not like masks were just invented and were just talked about. Masks have been talked about since the beginning. Remember, there was a whole shortage of masks. We needed masks. And it became about, the people overseas, they always wear masks in Asian countries and they don't get it. Now, they've gone back and forth on whether a mask will even help you, but I mean, it's been out there, and if it's possible that it could help, you could have been doing it, Mr. Andrew. I said Chris, didn't I? Sorry, it's Andrew Cuomo. You could have been doing that, Mr. Governor. You could have been doing that, and you didn't. So everybody just got patriotic recently, apparently. Before the show, thank you so much, Dog Backwards, for the on-set sticker. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Don't forget, brought to you by you. You know the deal. Oh, by the way, guys, I got remonetized. All of my green circles are back. There's no new ones, but all the old ones are back. Yeah, so I was thinking about this when I saw that. I had to laugh because do y'all remember when Chris Cuomo, Andrew's brother, gave his wife COVID? Do y'all remember when he just had to go cook the sauce like Mom taught me? I had to cook the sauce. And to cook the sauce because Mom taught me how to make the sauce. Yeah. And he's got his little kid sitting there recording him as he was in quarantine for having the disease. Remember that? And then he went across town against his brother's own orders on, safety regulations for spreading corona. And then he wanted to kick somebody's ass because of it. I want to kick your ass. Thank you. This is Kyle. Hello, chat people, monkey, and happy birthday, America, USA. You did. How do you get the eagles? And why do the eagles look like turkeys? Which, by the way, the turkey could have been our national bird. How weird is that? I just like Cuomo's trying to get in a dick fighting contest with Trump, and for the most part, Trump is just like, so. But Cuomo. Andrew was like, I'm going to take on Trump. And everybody, like, nobody cares, Andrew. Go back to your little home in Albany and shut the fuck up. Your little brother was out there spreading it, and you ain't say a fucking thing about that. In fact, you went on his show and talking, you look so sick. You look better now. You basically called him gay. Remember that? Because he even had the disease. He had the disease. Like, you learned to cook. You must be gay. That was Andrew's thing, man. And nobody called him out for that. Did you notice that? He was basically calling Chris Cuomo gay for learning to cook. and for spending time with his mother. Basically called him gay, and everybody's like, yeah, I mean, he's gay. But he wasn't saying it in, as in, yes, my brother, licks the knob. He was saying it as, and insulted anybody who cooks. You know how gay Gordon Ramsay is, right? That man just comes off as hella gay with all that cooking he does. You have this antiquated idea of what it means to be in the kitchen, Andrew. That doesn't seem very patriotic. But at least when he's being a sexist pig, he's got his mask on now. The mask debate, the great mask debate. It's the big thing right now. Can you believe that's the big argument? The big mask debate. Don't worry. If you're out there protesting, you're probably actually bringing down the number of COVID cases. But if you're out there protesting because you don't want to be locked in your house for no fucking reason, then you're probably spreading the disease. Interesting. It's almost like they don't know what the fuck they're talking about and they're just throwing out bullshit. Almost. Oh, man. It's so almost like bullshit that it kind of smells like bullshit. Hey, Jack, how you doing, man?
I'm tired. How you doing?
I'm getting there. I was out in the sun today, and it just kind of saps the energy out of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could probably sleep, but I'm happy. That counts for something, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just woke up from one of those old man naps where you're like, I'll sit down for a minute.
Gotcha. I was just talking about how Andrew Cuomo, the most patriotic thing you can do, Jack, is wear a mask. That is the most patriotic thing you can do.
I would have thought the most patriotic thing you could do would be to kill some Britons.
Well, he also doesn't specify if that's an American patriotic thing. Like if somebody in Canada is wearing a mask, are they patriotic to America?
Yes. Everybody should be patriotic toward America.
They really should be. They should just let us run everything because they're not doing a very good job of it around the world.
Right? We're way better at it. Mm-hmm. Before we get too far into this, I need to apologize for Frosted Glass because I accidentally slept through MST3K night.
Yeah, you sound like you just got up from your old man nap.
Yeah. Oh, it was a great nap. One of those where you wake up with drool on your face and
oh yeah,
neck hurts because you're not supposed to be in that position.
After years of watching you, I've never caught you on the 4th of July to get a birthday song. What do you think? It is officially my birthday. Lesser Logic. This one's for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lesser Logic. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sir. I hope you have a good one. What a great day. Born on the 4th of July. Horrible movie. Way too overly dramatic bullshit anti-nom stuff, which became the thing after Platoon.
Yeah.
At least with Platoon, that was, I don't want to get into Vietnam movies right now. But, what a day to be born. The day that America came into being. And remember, wear your patriotic mask. Now, Jack, is it patriotic if I wear a mask that says I hate America?
If you hate America, you are not patriotic.
But I'm wearing a mask.
Masks aren't patriotic unless you're like Captain America.
Didn't a couple of really didn't one of our presidents or two of our presidents die on the 4th of July?
Maybe.
I want to say yes. Chat, help me out there. I saw Prospero a few minutes ago, so maybe she knows all that kind of weird stuff. I want to say some American presidents died on the 4th. Jefferson and Adams. See, yeah, I was right. I knew that from somewhere. And one of their last words was that the other one still lived. I can't remember which was which. Reportedly, American mythos, that kind of stuff.
Oh,
Whether
James Monroe also died on the 4th.
did he?
Yeah.
Nobody remembers James Monroe as a president.
Right? He died of heart failure and TB.
And Jefferson lives. Yeah, exactly. What heart failure and 8 TB? What?
No, TB, tuberculosis.
Oh,
Consumption.
I was gonna say he wasn't alive during the television era. We'd remember him if he was.
He
Yeah.
sent a text right before he died. It was tragic.
Yeah. So, sounds like a train's coming. TB, what a horrible way to go. That took Doc Holliday, man. It's a horrible disease we need to get rid of.
There's good treatments for it now.
It's still a thing all these years later.
Yeah, it's because it keeps mutating because they don't have people actually like following directions.
Right, yeah. According to Joe Biden, TV has been around since the 1920s. Did he say that? I wouldn't be shocked. Oh my God, Jack. If you were just waking up, you missed Trump's speech.
I did. Was it good?
It was amazing. Now, he gave some facts about the 4 presidents that are on Mount Rushmore. I don't know if all of those facts are correct because I didn't check and I'm not a historian. But for the most part, the only thing I can see anybody can fuck with him about is the way he said Ulysses.
Well, he's from New York. They talk funny.
And the other thing, instead of Nobel Prize, he said Nobel Prize.
Yeah, I don't care about those. Those are like mistakes we would make.
Everything else, Jack, watching this speech, all I could think of was the Democrats have set him up to give this perfect speech.
Yeah. And he did it at fucking Mount Rushmore, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to watch the fireworks thing because it's the first year they let it in like 11 years.
It was amazing. It was just so well done, so patriotic, so rah America without being over the top that I got goosebumps several times. Like, nailed it. Just fucking nailed it.
Yeah, we need more of that. And I think that's good. Jingoistic flag waving is a bit passe. But these days, you need somebody like that to come in and be like, no, we're awesome. Fuck you guys.
Well, this is one of the things I've said about Trump all along is Trump has made it okay to be proud to be American again.
Yeah.
In a very Reagan-esque way. Coming out of Carter's administration, man, the country was just depressed. I'm not talking economically. It was that too, but not full. Somebody goes, it wasn't in a depression, monkey. You know what the fuck I meant.
Gas lines.
Anyway, gas lines, yeah, just stupid.
Yeah, lots of dumb shit that made people kind of depressed because we had a weak leader. Let's be honest about it.
And then Reagan comes in, he's like, love America. Everybody's like, yes. And Obama, he goes around the world to tell everybody how sorry he is for what we are.
Yeah. And
Trump comes in and goes, fuck you. I love us.
Yeah. We're pretty awesome. Real quick, thank you. This is Kyle. What's up, Galactus? Not much, man. Tired. Been a long day.
Whoever wrote this speech did a very good job on it, and Trump's delivery was near spot on.
That's great to hear. Good for him. He had a big moment here to do something really cool because not everybody has done a speech in front of Mount Rushmore on the 4th of July.
Right.
So, yeah, badass all around. I would have loved to have gone to this. That would be really cool. But, it is what it is, man. Good for him. He needed that. And he needs to do more stuff like this.
The only things that he really announced is he announced, that he'd sent out federal law enforcement to protect statues, which got a really good response.
Yeah.
And then he announced that he is signing an executive order to create, I forgot what exactly he called it, but basically a garden of American heroes. of American presidents and of American. He didn't specify it was whether or not it was just going to be presidents or whether there would be other people. Because there's this one part of the speech where he's just going through all of these great names that have come out of America, you know, from George Washington to fucking Ella Fitzgerald, from Lincoln to Sinatra. Frank, not Matt.
Not Sinatra says.
Yeah.
Although he's a great American too.
Not that Sinatra says isn't great, but he meant Frank Sinatra. And it was it was a great fuck you to all these people who want to tear shit down.
Yeah, well, look at all the stuff that we've exported, from rock and roll to the moon landing, all the amazing things that the U.S. has done. Not to diminish other countries, but we've kind of been doing quite a bit for the last 200 years. Your air conditioning, you're welcome. So,
well, it's amazing you say that, because one of the things that he did point out, he does this great procession, you know, from taming the planes to taking flight to going to the stars. And just the way it was written and said, it was like, well done. Go us.
Nice.
What is the New York Times saying? Trump delivered a dark and divisive speech at Mount Rushmore, leaning into the culture wars and barely mentioning the pandemic. Yeah, the only thing he said about the pandemic was, let's give it up for the people out there who are going to defeat this thing, who are out there, who their job is to kill it.
Well,
and kill it they will.
Yeah, we did that with smallpox.
Who wrote this shit?
Somebody that hates America, obviously.
Annie Carney. What a fitting last name, even though it's not spelled the right way. Carney, yeah.
She just changed the spelling so she didn't look like she smelled like cabbage.
This was such a come together speech, and America is one speech, and we won't let people tear it down thing. Dark and divisive. What the fuck are you drinking?
Well, they don't want people going to watch it.
Wow.
And dark and divisive for them is probably not wrong, because they hate this country and they don't want to see it succeed.
Is this her? Yes, this is her. I got to tag her in my response to this because, bitch, what you been drinking?
Ask her if she's got that not so fresh feeling.
She should, because she's ridiculous. Let's see, here. What? Wait, did I screw up her at? I did. I didn't get the at. I got the. This her. Yeah, there we go. Here, Annie Carney. Might I suggest not writing when you're obviously on the fourth bottle of wine? All the best. Yeah, the speech itself, Jack, it was awesome. I mean, he nailed it. And like I said, if this was a movie, you ever see the movie? Oh God, The American President with Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
Throughout this whole movie, the guy, his opponent, is just being a complete prick to him, and the press is all over him. And he gives this amazing speech at the end. And the speech that he gives touches on everything that's happened throughout the whole movie. And like it was the perfect setup just for that speech. That's how this speech felt. Like everything that has happened, it's like they were like, how can we make Donald Trump look the absolute best he possibly can? And they're like, I know. We're going to destroy monuments and try to rip the country apart. And he came in and laughed. We're not going to let that happen. So yeah. With coronavirus pandemic raging and his campaign faltering in the polls, his appearance amounted to a fiery reboot of his re-election effort, using the holiday and an official presidential address to mount a full-on culture war against a straw man version of the left that he portrayed as inciting mayhem and moving the country towards totalitarianism. Is this in their news section? Yeah, this is not
Not an opinion, huh?
Not an opinion piece.
Interesting.
Huh. Interesting. You know what else is interesting? At the top, it tells us when it was updated, but it doesn't at the bottom tell us what the updates were. Anyhow, I'm not shocked that the New York Times is acting that way because they're a bunch of shitbags who don't like the country.
Yeah.
He's not wrong. He talked about a lot of the very things we talk about on the show night after night, Jack. It was funny that he did come out and specifically called out that they're doing these things in the name of social justice. I was like, oh. He hit on a lot of really good buzzwords that will play very well with his base.
The dude knows what's going on. He trolls all the time on the internet. You know he's looking at the same shit we are half the time.
Right.
So, I mean, Twitter stuff tends to float around all the circles, so.
He called out cancel culture twice.
Oh, yeah, he's in touch, man. I'm telling you. He's way more with it than a lot of politicians, probably most of them.
And again, there was no real meat to it. You know, there was no policy or anything like that. It was just America doesn't suck. Fuck you guys. Which I think a lot of people are happy to hear right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Not the New York Times, of course, because, well.
Oh, no, not those treacherous bastards.
The Commie Times of New York. This was an official presidential speech. Okay, well, I don't understand what that comment was for. This was what the 4th of July speech that the president has to give on the 3rd. I don't understand her comment there. I'm confused by that, Jack. How many commies run the Commie Times? What? Love it or leave it, mother.
Sorry.
What's that? I'm sorry.
They probably have a lot of commies running that place.
Well, you know, there's one in charge who gets to make the decisions.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you with that, Cameron. I'm not a love it or leave it kind of person. I think there's changes that could be made here and there. For me, quite a bit of it is rolling back changes that have already happened to make it a more perfect union. What I won't say, or when I do say love it or leave it, is when we're talking about these actual commie shitheads, the ones who they're literally tearing down history, Jack. This isn't something that was made up. Straw manning with the movement. They're desecrating statues of Washington.
If given half a chance, they would tear down the Lincoln and Jefferson memorials. They already vandalized Lincoln's, but if they had the chance, they've said several times that they would like to take down the Jefferson Memorial.
Didn't they? They did something to a statue of Jefferson somewhere, didn't they?
Oh, they tore a couple of the statues down. Yeah. But the memorial, if they take one of those memorials down, I mean, they've already desecrated the Vietnam one and the World War II one. If they were to tear down the statues at one of the memorials and just utterly destroy it, Trump would get reelected, I think. Because all the old people would come out and be like, what the fuck?
I wasn't expecting that article. I was expecting somebody to be fact checking him, you know, because that's what they always do to his stuff.
Yeah, this is a bunch of crybaby whiners.
And like I said, unless he got a little bit of the history wrong here or there, there's not a lot to fact check other than how these people are acting. Excuse me, so sorry about that. And yeah, they are acting like shitheads. Guys, we watched quite a bit of Chaz coverage last night. It's still going on, you guys. It's still going on. And these are the people. It is amazing how many of those Black Lives Matter supporters are not white or not black at all. And they're just out there destroying shit.
Right?
For Black lives.
And that one kid saying the mayor was electorally elected. I almost punched my screen.
Yeah. He's the one that they're like, you're gonna run for office someday. There's this black guy running around the area, and I forget his name. They kept, what is it, TK or something like that?
Something like that.
And they all see him as some kind of folk hero. And oh man, I was very much reminded of Damon Wayans when he would do his guy who uses the wrong words all the time.
Yeah.
Not understanding what big words are. Whew. It's interesting.
Oh, he took every opportunity to pimp out his SoundCloud as well. So
yes, but he doesn't even have music yet. He even said that.
But he will. He's an up and comer, you know.
When they get time to get in the studio. He also told us he's been a felon since he was 12 years old. He went to the state penitentiary at 22.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I would have guessed he was like 19 just looking at him.
Yeah. Well, I think that's because he's short. But yeah, he was super proud of that stint he did in the pen.
Yeah, yelling at the police. Why don't you guys admit what you do? I admit what I did. Well, the police as a whole didn't do anything. Those are individual people.
Yeah, it's not a collective. They're not a hive mind.
And
real quick, thank you, Okie Native. Was at the hospital all day. This is some money I made selling cigarettes to cancer patients and double cheeseburgers in the heart patient ward. Yeah.
Well done.
You,
Okie. I expect we'll see a whole lot of hand wringing over Trump's speech tomorrow. Because it was really well done, and it was nice to see because he didn't meander at all.
Yeah, how dare he love his country? I can hear Don Lemon whining now.
Yeah. It's the 4th of July, Jack.
It is.
It is our nation's birthday.
And you know what that means?
Drunks with fireworks?
No, it's the nation's birthday.
That too.
We have to sing for America.
I'm not singing for America.
Aren't we?
No. You can sing for America if you want.
No.
I'm not singing happy birthday to a chunk of land. Even a chunk of land that I love. I'm not doing it. I'll blow shit up for America. Because that's what we do best. We build shit up and we blow other shit down.
It's true. We are pretty good at explosives.
We are. We're good at military and war and defense. Because can you imagine the world, Jack, if China was the most powerful military on the planet?
Yeah, give them a few years.
They still can't match us in militaries. They have a lot of people, tons of soldiers. But what do they have? What, 2 aircraft carriers, and one of them looks like somebody taped a bunch of bathtubs together.
Yeah, but give them a few years. Our budgets will get cut under President Biden, and the Chinese are ramping up their research and development by stealing all of ours. So they'll get quite a bit of good stuff going here in the next few years, I think.
Did you? Oh, sorry, guys. Seriously. Have you seen the pictures of the aircraft carrier that the Chinese got from the Russians?
Oh, that sad one that looked like it had been mothballed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It looks like if they had brought it out in the 40s, it already would have looked really, really old.
Yeah.
And outdated. Like you could land paper airplanes on it. Damn right, we're good with explosives. Yeah, we are. We are. And we wield that sometimes responsibly.
Yeah, it's a 50-50.
I think for the most part, we do a good job with it, Jack.
I think so, too.
Even if you go back to things like Vietnam, I don't have a problem with us having gone in there to defend South Vietnam, especially against dirty-ass commies. The whole problem with what happened there is, I mean, besides the government lying about it, and what we were doing there was the government not letting the military just go in and do what they needed to do.
Yeah, they were playing too many games.
The awesome Tet offensive that showed this was a quagmire. We beat that shit back in like 3 days. They had these surprise attacks that pushed us all the way back, and we beat it back in 3 days. The kill ratio was something like 25-1. We kicked the ever-loving shit out of them militarily, but we just never had the will to finish it, which that was the problem there. I don't have a problem with us going in there.
Well, that's the problem with letting politicians make rules of engagement.
Yeah.
They're not there to actually win. They're there to play political games. Like, take this hill. Okay, let it go. Now go retake it. Yep. And that got a lot of people senselessly killed.
Once we decided to go in, let them go.
Yeah.
And I know we never declared war there. But our guy, we had a shit ton of people there in a warlike situation, Jack.
Sure looked like a war.
Yeah, sure did. And so, yeah, the shame there's not on our military what we did. It was with our politicians. And isn't that always the case? Our fucking politicians are where our shame comes from.
Sure seems to be.
Oh, man. The dogs of war, I'm sorry, but when you go to kill, you kill. Exactly. You don't go over there to peacekeep. That's a stupid ass idea. You know what peacekeeping does, Jack? It gets people killed.
Yep.
Yeah, has there been it's almost like communism. Has there been a successful peacekeeping mission?
There probably was at one point, but I'd have a tough time pointing out where it was better than the mess that was before once we left.
Most of the time I hear about peacekeeping operations, it's usually because peacekeepers have been pulled out because the place has gone completely to shit.
Yeah.
Mogadishu.
Yeah. Oh, Mogadishu. Rwanda. There's so many.
As a military force, we've not had the will to finish a fight since dropping the bombs on Japan. True. I mean, we kind of did it in Iraq, and then if you're going to take the place over, you got to take the place over. If you're going to, what's the word I'm looking for here? Stabilize it. You have to colonize it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's the only way to stabilize it. It would have been better if we had just left the place, like straight up pulled out.
Yep.
And just let the anarchy take over and be like, all right, that's what you get. Screw you guys, we're going home.
Yeah, and then you get Libya.
Yeah. But you play these stupid fucking nation building games. We're not good at that crap.
Libya is another peacekeeping mission.
Yeah.
They were there to try to keep the peace because Gaddafi was killing some people. They're like, we got to stop it. So they killed Gaddafi, and then all hell broke loose. Good job, Obama.
Yeah.
I saw somebody try to convince me that assassinating him was part of the peacekeeping mission that was approved by the UN. I'm like, you ain't read that, did you? I don't like when people talk about shit they haven't actually read. It's not that hard to look up almost anything, Jack.
Look, reading is difficult, man.
But you know what happened? He was on some forum and some moron said that to him. Instead of looking it up, he just repeats it now.
It's a lot of extra buttons to push.
Pieces for betas. I like peace, but often peace is attained by being like, don't fuck with me, we will fuck you up. Peace through superior firepower. It's a real thing.
Absolutely.
And again, it's one of the reasons, look, world at large, all of you people who hate America, you guys are such bullies. You think you're cowboys. You better be thanking your lucky stars that we're the ones with this might. Because if it was anybody else, y'all be fucked. Can you imagine Iran with this kind of power?
Oh my God, that'd be terrifying.
Right?
Any Muslim, diehard Muslim country like that.
Even Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. You'd all be wearing burqas and get people tossed off roofs.
Earl Walton, exactly. He says, walk tall and carry a big stick. It's speak softly and carry a big stick.
Walking Tall was a good remake with The Rock. The original was kind of dumb.
X43 says, we are cowboys. We are cowboys. And I don't understand why the world thinks that's some kind of insult against us.
Because we took all their fun people.
It's not my fault.
Us in Australia got all the fun people. Let's be real.
It's not our fault that they're a bunch of stuck-up shitheads. Should have had 6 shooters, man.
Right?
Okay, thank you. The world will miss us when China takes our place. China's not going to take our place. They're trying desperately, but they have too many underlying flaws. Do you remember when everybody thought Japan was going to take our place back in the 80s?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then their economy completely crashed and went to shit.
Now, I could see us losing power like that if we became a communist country. We would lose a lot of influence and ability to get anything done in a timely manner. So we would probably lose a lot of influence there. China's a little more versatile than we are. They're long-term planners. So I think that maybe then, but I don't think anybody wants to live in that world. Have you seen the shit China does? They run over their own people.
Ogie says, you won't see it. You're old and will be dead. Once I'm dead, what the hell do I care? I want a better world for my children and my grandchildren, of course. But yeah, once I'm dead, things are what they are. I don't think you'll see that happen. I think unless China decides to completely abandon communism, which I don't see them doing. The government likes their control. It's kind of like thinking of the Kim family giving up communism. I don't think they even actually care about communism. I think they just like being celebrated. I heard someone who lived in China for a lot of years say it's a dying country. Well, that's one of the reasons they opened up their markets the way that they have, as little as they have, because they were. The Chinese economy was is stagnant the right word?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they have some problems, and yeah.
It's largely still a third world country.
Yeah.
You go out to the country and it looks like you just wandered into like the worst parts of Laos. Even in the city, you'll see people, they've cleaned it up a little bit, so there's no longer little kids pooping in the street. Now their parents will pick them up and hold them over a trash can so they can poop.
Which is just more hygienic.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a given, right? So there's that. But it is largely still a very poor country with weird levels of industrialization in the cities. So it's a very bizarre mix of things. And it's something that a lot of people, I don't think, realize is how much of a dichotomy they have in their country, how like the paddy fields and the farms are so far removed and technologically disadvantaged compared to like the inner cities where they actually have the internet and stuff like that.
Well, even look at communism is bad, guys. It just is. Look at a place like Cuba. Cuba's a small island, and Havana has still been kept pretty decent looking. But you one step outside of Havana and you're in the 50s. Still.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like that in most communist countries. They put up their Potemkin villages for people to see. But then if you go outside of that, you're going to see all the extreme poverty, the starvation, the struggles. Soviet Union was the same way.
It's been a while since I looked, but last I knew it was something like less than 75% of homes in Cuba have running water.
Yeah.
It's a tiny little island surrounded by the shit. Gamer Vleen, thank you. I love how Australia just joins our military for pretty much anything. They buy in on Miltech and said, okay, we're bored about Iraq. Oh, folks. I'm very positive on the Australians because they're as close as the rest of the world ever came to having cowboys.
Yeah,
They
they're
tried.
the real cowboys. That they go out there.
No,
And they got the Outback. Still
those are
in take.
croc boys.
Nah.
They're croc boys.
The Australians are like our criminal little brother. We have a lot in common with them by both being like, fuck you, England.
They haven't tamed their whole country like we have. They need to get on it. They're like, yeah, we're not going in the middle.
I think that's part of the rules with the armistice from the Emu Wars.
Yeah, see that's another difference between them and we had all kinds of treaties. We're like, fuck that, we're not doing it. Which may or may not be a good thing, depending on who you ask. Like, we made a deal.
Yeah.
I'm altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it further.
Right. Well, they didn't screw over the Aboriginals quite as hard as we did to a lot of Indian tribes.
Right.
So they got to kind of step up their game a little there. But no, I love the Aussies, especially because most of what I know about them comes from Terry. And I may have a very skewed view of them because I fill in the blanks in my head.
I like the Aussies because what I know about them comes from Crocodile Dundee, Steve Irwin, and Foster's commercials.
I'm pretty sure Crocodile Dundee is like their president or something.
He should be. Isn't it something like their last 3 or 4 prime ministers haven't finished their term? They haven't had one finish a full term in a while because they keep having to step down for some reason. One of you Aussies in chat, what is it with your criminal PM or MPs? PM. Which one am I looking for? PM.
Look, dude, someday Harold Holt is going to come out of the ocean and save Australia. He's like their King Arthur.
The what now?
Harold Holt, he disappeared while going swimming off the coast.
Oh.
And he was the prime minister at the time.
Earl Walton says, don't forget Outback Steakhouse.
Right? Delicious. Thank you.
I've never been to one.
It's a lot like Texas Roadhouse, but with slightly different menu items.
Gotcha. I like Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, I do too. I'm a big Outback fan too. It was kind of a coin toss. If you were going to go to a steakhouse, we'd pick one of those too. It's just kind of a given. So thank you, Australia.
The closest I've been to a steakhouse probably in the last 20 years is a Ponderosa, dude. Did I ever tell you that? I was so pissed off by that. I went to a Ponderosa, Jack, and they had all-you-could-eat steak.
Yeah. I miss those.
And I got almost up to 3 pounds when they brought me this piece of fat, because they don't give it to you all at once.
No.
They didn't just like bring me a big slab of beef. They bring me, just one at a time. And I told the lady, just bring me another one. Save yourself a trip. Bring me 2. And so she brings me, and it was just fat. And I was like, well, I guess I'm done here. I get the message, guys. But I did. It was very good steak, believe it or not.
Oh, I know that. I remember we had a Ponderosa in my hometown for a long time, and it was delicious.
Thank you, Gamer Valine. Saw a dude in sandals using a stick to distract venomous snake so he didn't get bitten while he pulled it off the road. Again, 0 fucks.
Yeah, man, you don't fuck with the Australians. They handle deadly shit all the time. And we're like, oh, yeah, I got a shovel to move that. They're like, pussies.
Well, see, that's because it's too hot down there. I'd still, when I was younger and not in pain all the time, I wanted to go to Australia. My dad spoke very well of it. He'd been to both coasts, and he really, really liked it there. So I'm like, I'd love to go see what Dad thought was so cool. But now, like, you know what? I'm okay. I'll just watch Crocodile Dundee too.
Yeah. Feral cats, 10 deadliest poisonous or venomous things, giant, scary jellyfish that are poisonous that surround the coastline only in Australia. They're like right off Cthulhu's porch. No thanks. No, I'm good. I'm not man enough to go there. I will fully admit it. I would love to. My brother's been to Australia a few times, said great things about it. But I don't think I'm man enough to make it there. I don't think I'd last a week.
When I was 6 or so, I saw a guy carrying a diamondback rattlesnake on a pitchfork. And there's a full-grown man who was carrying it about hip level, had it straight out, and the snake was touching the ground on both sides. And he went and he flung it into the canyon. And at the time, I didn't mind. But now that I'm older, I'm like, why in the hell did my parents have me somewhere where diamondbacks were just running around the backyards?
Yeah, that's named Arizona.
It was California. It was San Diego.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Place called Murphy Canyon, and yeah, it's a desert area down that way. Asher, thank you so much. I need some advice. My childhood school superintendent just sent an email out saying next year they will focus on equality, diversity, inclusion, implicit biases. I'm worried for my 11-year-old daughter. Oh, my child's school superintendent. I said childhood school superintendent. My bad. Well, here's the thing. If you're going to send them to school, they're going to have to deal with that. So what you could do is send a very non-threatening letter with your concerns about why you think that might be a stupid waste of their time.
Yeah, we got to start getting rid of some of these administrators because they are power hungry, unelected in a lot of cases. The student council or the superintendent's cronies. The superintendent, though, is an elected position in a lot of places. And unfortunately, we're going to see more of this crap because a lot of educators are very, very left wing. You're going to see a lot of this crap. If you got kids in school, I feel bad for you.
Yeah. You can also try talking to other parents and express your opinions with them, but you're gonna lose the argument at the beginning. At the very least, at the beginning, you're going to lose the argument. Be prepared for that. Your other choice is to homeschool them or private school them.
Yeah.
And
you're going to see. Oh, sorry.
If it's private school, they're going to run into that eventually anyway.
Yeah. And you're going to see a lot of parents that just don't care. They don't care enough to show up to PTA meetings. That they'll be like, what's it going to hurt? Well, the more this crap goes on, the more it's going to affect the kids because it's corrupting their thinking and their ability to make independent choices about what they believe. So, yeah, their critical thinking skills are already pretty shot in public school. But, yeah, you're going to see a lot of this. So try and find some allies in this and go to the PTA meetings and voice your concerns and vote these fuckers out of office whenever you can.
The other thing... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's really your best options, honestly.
The other thing, if you are still going to send your child, talk to your child. 11 years old is old enough for them to start hearing, and actually it's well past time for them to start hearing about, you can be not racist and still not buy into this bullshit.
Yeah,
you don't have
remember.
You don't have to say, look, in order to not be racist, we have to be racist against this group so that this group can have an advantage.
Exactly. And remember, though, that you have to couch your words in very careful ways because the Ministry of Truth will find out about what you said because they will train your children to rat you out. I remember a few years ago, they were trying to get kids to rat on their parents that owned guns under like the guise of public safety.
That was last year.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that sort of shit's going to keep going on. They'll sneak these things in wherever they can. And implicit bias is one of those things that's been debunked several times, but it's not going to stop them from trying to push it through anyway because it fits their narrative and their goals. And that's the important thing is you got to be real careful what they call these programs because it'll have some innocuous sounding name and they'll sneak it in. So you got to read everything your kids have, find out what they're doing, pay attention to what they're being taught, and talk to them about what they're being taught. Especially 11, 12 years old, very impressionable, and it could be the foundation of what they believe later in life. So if you're patriotic and don't hate the country, you might want to tell them, have them read old books like the Colored Heroes of America, I think it was called. There's a book from early 1900 and it was all about Colored Patriots of America, and it was all about the various black heroes from the Revolution all the way up through the Civil War, and that it was actually very, very useful because a lot of those old textbooks really explain it very well.
Of course, you stop talking when I take a big finger full of peanut butter.
I felt rambling, so
you were fine. The other thing, also be careful when you do talk to your child, because I ran into this with my own children because I disagreed with a lot of what went on in their school, Jack. They still have to pass.
Yeah.
And they still have to get along within the school. And so you have to explain to them that, look, this is reality, but this is what they're making you say. And you can talk to them about why this is happening. But don't just throw that idea in their head and force them out into the world and let them try to fend for themselves that way. That's how you end up on the news.
Yeah.
Real quick on chat, Mr. Potato said, there's nothing in the middle worth taming. Now, see, this is why you're Australia and we're America. You know what we did when we went across the Las Vegas desert? We built Las Vegas there. Like, there's fucking nothing here. Casinos and whores. See? That's why you're Australia and we're America. You guys are like, there's no reason to go there. We're like, fuck it, build a city. Las Vegas is one of my favorite things about America, Jack.
Because it should bother being there?
Yeah, it shouldn't be there. There's no reason for that to be where it is and to be successful where it is.
Right? It makes no sense, but that really does kind of define us in a lot of ways. Real quick.
Exactly.
Thank you, Okie Native. Just FYI, Sydney is full of attractive Asian women with Aussie accents if you want to start saving Streamlabs monies for vacation. Done and done. I have a fundraiser of get Jack some Australian Asian booty.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again. Earl Walton has said, did you get to watch that video of the woman with the gun? No, I've still not seen it. Still not seen it. Thank you, Gamer Valine. Darwin, Australia might want to look it up. I really don't. I'm saying that if you want to make a reason to go through the middle there, put something there worth going there. It's a pretty simple concept of American ingenuity.
I have a sneaking suspicion that in the center of the outback is actually a giant oil field. And they're lying about the whole emu war thing to provide cover for that in a UFO base. And they're just sitting on all this oil so they can be super rich later.
I think there's dead hookers out there. That's what they do. And look, yeah, we let the mob build Vegas, but still. Darwin is the armpit of Australia. Don't do that when I'm drinking. I had to take my pain medicine, Jack. Anyway, gambling and loose women sounds like heaven. No, you don't want loose women. I've always hated that term for sluts and whores. Because you don't want a loose woman.
Well, I think that was part of the thing, was trying to attract people from going there. Oh, you don't want those women, they're loose.
Loose morals, sure. But
yeah, but you don't want change falling out of there.
Yeah, if somebody suggests to you that the woman is loose, make sure you ask which part. That's all.
Yeah, you want them to tighten up so they can propel that ping pong ball clear across the room. Make
change. I've heard sailor's kid, man, you hear the worst stories. And woman who could make change with her vagina. Like, all right. It's like those people who, have you ever seen that guy who swallows stuff and can bring back up the things in whatever order you tell him to?
Yeah, that's gross.
Moves it around in his stomach and then like a fucking fur ball. It's like, what the hell? But yeah, apparently there's women who could do that with their vaginal muscles.
That's what we in the industry call a keeper.
There you go. Yeah, Australia, I'm giving you a $1 trillion idea here. cut through the middle and smack dab in the middle of that motherfucker, build a giant casino resort. Americans will come spend a shit ton of money there.
Yeah, with ping pong shows and sexy Asians. I'll be there.
Do you know how many Asians will come? Asians love casino towns.
That's true. They kind of do.
They do. That's a big tourist spot for Asians is Las Vegas. Gamer, thank you. I was easily one of the ugliest women in Australia when I was there. The view was great. Dark sunglasses made it even better.
Yeah.
Well, that's not nice to yourself.
But it does speak very highly of Australians because most of the female ones that I've seen were pretty hot. Kylie Minogue, Sugar Tits, a couple of
Sugar
K-pop
Tits really is Sugar Tits really Australian?
Yeah, she's got the accent and everything.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like her ancestors came over on that first English boat.
I don't know what her ancestors did. Maybe they were criminals in the UK.
I don't think so. I think she's Asian, and that's cool too. Isn't she like half and half?
I think so.
Yeah.
Half Australian or half Asian, half criminal. I don't know.
Yeah. Which makes her, a good woman. Oh man. I think Sugar Tits is half Asian. Well, she's at least half Asian. I mean, there's no doubt about that part. What's the other half? Because full-blooded Asians are also half Asian. It's just they have two half Asian parts.
Yeah, there's a lot of muddled.
That's just simple science.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. They built everybody's railroads midnight. Look, the Australians, China's been fucking with them a lot lately. I watch the Australian news clips. For some reason, they come up on my feed a lot. Some right-wing Australian guy. And Andrew Bolt, I think his name is. Pretty interesting guy. But he was talking about these problems they're having with China because of the COVID thing. And Australia's been leading the investigation or pushing it to really investigate where it all originated from. China's been giving them a lot of shit over that lately. You do not want to fight the Australians. There's a reason that place hasn't really been invaded. They seriously handle deadly creatures all the time. They're very fearless people. You do not want to fuck with them.
Yeah, but you know what, Jack? They suffered from the same thing we do right now, and they're actually worse off than we are with the SJW bullshit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe they would be like, all right, yeah, come in and take it, because we're almost there. Our only saving grace is we have a president who's like, that's just not going to happen. Seriously, Jack, you got to watch that speech. It was so good. So good. So well done.
I'll watch it later tonight. Because I wanted to see it, because I wanted to see the fireworks. Ours got canceled. Thanks, COVID.
Yeah, ours all got canceled too. So we did just little fireworks out in the driveway for the kids. They enjoyed it. It's probably better that way too, because the young or the middle one, she's scared of loud noises.
Yeah.
So there was only one that made a really loud noise. That one did scare the shit out of her. What speech? The one that President Trump gave tonight? Last night, in front of Mount Rushmore. Yeah, the governor there in South Dakota, she gave a good speech beforehand too. I didn't hear the whole thing. I caught about the last half of it. Yeah, she did pretty good with hers as well. It was funny. I was watching. What feed was I watching? Oh, I went to the Fox News feed just because. I was like, you know what? Everybody accuses me of watching Fox. I'm going to watch Fox. And I didn't. We were on the show when it started, so I had to go back and watch. And so I go back and I catch, like I said, about halfway into the governor's speech. They don't show her at all. The whole time, their camera is solely on Trump.
Wow.
Yeah. Through her whole speech, it's just on him. Yeah, it was awesome, though. What happened to the protesters there? I don't know. Nuts. Yeah, because, Jack, supposedly there was some problems with protesters blocking the road in. I imagine they got moved.
Yeah, I'm sure the president had a lot of extra security from both the locals and feds. So I'm sure it was an outnumbering situation.
And yeah, Prospero, I saw the New York Times' tweet. We talked about it a little earlier. Dark and divisive. Such bullshit. It was a really good, all-American, red-blooded, let's have some steak and potatoes and conquer a land speech. It was great. It was great. How come we don't conquer lands anymore, Jack?
People frown on it because they're a bunch of babies now.
I don't understand why. Colonizing is a bad thing. Why?
Well, it used to be a bad thing because it turned people into subjects. But, you know, if what we need to do is export our ideals more.
Sure.
That would be better than the trash we export. Because look at what people see of us as like Jersey Shore level material.
Oh, God, yeah. You want an insult? Instead of calling us cowboys, call us, what are they? Jersey Shore Goombas? Are we allowed to say Goomba? I'm not Italian.
I don't know. I don't know how any of that works. But
look, I knew an Italian once, so I can say it. I have an Italian friend.
New Jersey is a blight on America. The only thing they've got that's cool is that fucking monster in the Pine Barrens. Beyond that, I don't really give a shit about New Jersey. It's full of assholes. And there's like 2 cool people there.
Thank you, Circus Zero, who says, when you go to watch the gun video, pull up that Detroit Free Press article and read their timeline. They blatantly lie about the timeline. I am not shocked by that in any way. At all. Not even a little bit. But yeah, like I said, I still haven't had a chance to watch that video. Do you know the video they're talking about, Jack?
Not offhand.
Some lady in a what parking lot was it, guys? There was a altercation.
Oh, was that the one where she had the gun out waving it around?
Yeah, apparently she bumped into this chick's daughter and didn't apologize, and her and her husband walk out to the car, and the lady and her daughter follow them, demanding an apology. And Chipotle, thank you. That's the parking lot. And it escalates to the point where the woman who did the bumping pulls out a gun. That's as much as I'm going to say that I know about this thing, because as far as I know, none of that is in dispute. So, yeah.
I suspect there's a lot more to that than what we saw in that video, because there always is.
Faithless says they were looking to start a fight and go viral, and they did.
Yep.
Oh, I did. Speaking of viral, our little stabby friend, Miss, the next person who says all lives matter, I'm gonna stab on.
Oh,
News
that lady,
came. Yeah, she supposedly lost her job, right, Jack?
Yeah.
Trump supporters cost me my job. She actually said that.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
The company that this was supposedly with came out and went, "That's not true."
Really?
They said she didn't work for us. She had a 2-week internship coming up at the end of summer that they did cancel, but she did not have a job with them.
So she lost a 2-week internship?
Yeah.
Probably because of COVID?
No, it was because of this. They said it was because of their policy against violence.
Oh, well, that's understandable.
Sure.
I know she was joking, but she did still threaten to stab somebody.
Look, I think at the end she throws that part in there, but the way she said it, I'm sorry, man. I would not be shocked if this woman killed someone.
I wouldn't either. She seemed like a very violent person.
Yeah. If somebody told me, hey, remember that chick who threatened to stab people? Yeah, she did. Oh, I'm not shocked.
Right?
She came off as unhinged. But, yeah, I lost my job. No, bitch lost a 2-week internship that she hasn't even started.
Yeah, well, fuck that bitch. They didn't cost her job then. This wasn't a career path. This was an internship.
Yep. But boy, did she play it up for some clicks, didn't she?
Yeah. Well, she probably has a GoFundMe out there, too. Like all these people seem to.
I'm sure. And it's amazing how much money they get.
It's ridiculous. There's a lot of people out there with sick amounts of money. You know what? Give that to, like, kids with cancer, or a kid needs a wheelchair or something. Give it to kids that need it. Don't give it to these fucking crybabies.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a good time to remind you that we're brought to you by you. Hit the like button, hit the share button. And I now have the Ranting Monkey doesn't have a GoFundMe fund that you can donate to over on my Streamlabs. I'm sure Jack has something similar on his.
My fundraiser is the Jack needs to bang hot Asians in Australia with Australian accents.
Yeah, that's a wonderful cause.
I think so. It may be a bit self-serving, but I'm okay with it.
And it is a much better cause than giving that cunt money because she lost an internship after threatening people with stabbing.
Yeah, Caramon said her GoFundMe is over 8K.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. That's 8K too much. An Assassin said
that's 9K too much.
Yeah. Assassin said she's also very self-righteous. Quote, these people do not realize I will do great things.
Yeah.
If she said that, that's fucking insulting to people that actually do great things. I'm sure Elon Musk is like, yeah, we need to hire her because she's clearly an intellectual giant.
Oh, Elon was in trouble today.
He's always in trouble. That's why I like him. He's funny.
You know, I like him too, but he's in trouble because a picture came up with him and Jizz Girl, the chick who worked with Epstein.
Oh,
yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
But they were on the social circuit for a long time. They were investing in like technology stuff. So he probably did meet them.
That's more than here's the thing though. This is one of the reasons I really do respect our president right now. Because in Manhattan social circles, Jeffrey Epstein was incredibly important, and not just in Manhattan ones, in Democratic social circles. Yeah, this was a mover and a shaker.
He was really big in giving grants and piles of money to scientists.
Yep.
So he was real interested in sciencey stuff. So he gave a lot of money to astronomers and researchers and things like that. So it doesn't surprise me that there's a lot of scientists like, I didn't do anything, man.
Sure. But like with somebody like Musk, I mean, Donald Trump cut this man out of his life 4 years before he was even in trouble with the law. He just heard a rumor and like, get the fuck out. We are done. And I respect that about the president, where everybody else seemed to be like, well, yeah, we all know Jeffrey's fucking kids, but especially if you were still hanging out with his ass after he admitted to it.
Yeah.
Well, he admitted that back in 2008.
But a lot of that was very downplayed in the media. Mm-hmm. So I could see somebody like Musk not knowing that. So I mean, I'm having a hard time like thinking a single photograph with somebody is a big deal for a celebrity. I mean, it's a bad look knowing what we know now. But did he partake of any of the forbidden delights that were going on in that pervy island of degenerates? If he did, then fuck the guy. But I don't know. They were so well connected that I don't know if that's evidence of guilt.
Here's what I will give Elon Musk. He's a genius. He absolutely is. For anybody who's like, he's a dumb. No, he's a smart guy. He really is. But like a lot of smart, really, really book smart people, he doesn't seem to be very worldly. If you know what I mean. He catches up on things from Twitter. That's how I learn stuff, dude. You're much smarter than me. You should know all this shit already.
Now, really smart people are not good at social cues.
Yeah. So, I've also never heard of him writing on the Lolita Express, which I think if that was out there, that would accompany the picture. And there are a lot of people who are just trying to take this man down. But yeah, mostly I just good on the president for cutting that shitbag out of his life almost 2 decades ago.
Yeah, and that probably cost him socially.
Sure.
To do that too.
Financially as well. Jeffrey threw around a lot of money, and Trump had financial troubles in that time. I mean, he didn't have financial troubles like you and I might have, Jack.
No, he just had a couple of minor companies go out.
Yeah, which he might have been able to get, support from dipshit. Some of the shit that went on there in Atlantic City, he might have gotten some help with. But yeah, it's like, no, I'm not fucking around with a pedo.
There's too much risk there, and Trump's about image. I mean, the guy knows when to cut his losses on a bad idea. So, hence Trump's stakes no longer being made.
Faith says that name on the flight register would stick out, not a John Smith type name. Sure, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why Bill Clinton stuck out. Everybody went, I'm sorry, what?
Exactly.
And then they went 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 fucking times, Bill?
They've been trying to cancel Elon Musk for years. They don't like the fact that he does like working in this country, that he is really smart. He doesn't care what he says. And he does all sorts of crazy inventions, which makes us all look good. They don't like that. So they got to get rid of the guy. Lowest common denominator is the goal of communism. Remember that.
Uncle Ira says Trump wants to be liked. Trump wants to be liked for the right reason, though. That's a difference. I want to be liked. Who doesn't want to be liked? Now, if you don't like me, I'm like, all right, fuck it. I don't care. But like in Trump, like with the speech tonight, he wants to be liked for supporting America. That's a good reason to want to be liked. Oh my God. He did say America first at least once.
Nice. Did he say Wu flu or Kung flu?
No, he didn't. He didn't say that at all. I was a little bit sad. Mighty Balzac, thank you. I tip my hat to the U.S. for the Battle of the Coral Sea, May 1942. Together, we sunk the Japanese invasion fleet heading for Australia.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, and God, we're talking. We didn't have much of a fleet left at that point either.
Real quick, thank you, Jordan 250. I hit a hot air balloon with an artillery shell! Exclamation, exclamation. It didn't drop any money, but the guy that fell out had some cash on him. Thanks,
Jordan. He's building his new car plant in Texas instead of California. Yeah, Elon, because he got pissed off in California.
Yeah, because California is being stupid, and they threatened to arrest his workers for going to work.
Yeah, you're right, Peter. I got my dates wrong. Yeah, that was when we still did have our fleet. It was in December. Wait, was it 41 or 42 that they bombed Pearl Harbor?
December 7th, 1941, I thought.
41, yeah. So that's after we were devastated. Yeah, we did enter the war in 42, but only technically because it was December 7th of 41 that the bombing happened. And we're like, all right, we're done. We're about to come fuck with you now. Yeah. It's still haunting to see the Arizona. I've never been there, but to see the aerial photos, it's just haunting.
Yeah, aren't there still bodies in there?
I can't remember. I believe so. They didn't want to disturb their resting place. Sailors have some weird stuff about, if you die at sea, you just leave yourself there.
Yeah, I find that weird. Like, whatever. That's a sailor thing, superstitions or whatnot.
Fair wind and following seas, my friends. Hitler declared war on us after Japan did. Well, I mean, Hitler could say what he wants. We don't care. It's not like he was going to come across the ocean at us.
Well, they had U-boats off the coast of New York.
Yeah, but I mean, the U-boats being there wasn't an invasion force, No,
that was just an intimidation tactic.
It's not like they could have got their planes here to do what they were doing to Britain, where they're just bombing the fuck out of it every night. Oh, God, what a time to have been alive, man. Prospero, what was that like?
Oh, jeez, dude.
Didn't the Pearl Harbor bombing not really do much to damage the ships? No, there was quite a bit of damage to the ships. Quite a bit of damage.
Did that fuck up one entire fleet?
Took out, yeah, it was our the fleet down there at Pearl Harbor. That was it's a Navy base.
Yeah, I mean they took out a bunch of ships there. So,
U-boats murdered countless merchant mariners. Yeah, they did. They just killed all kinds of shit. That's what their job was, is sink tonnage, man. Yeah. One of my favorite games I've ever played is called Silent Hunter 3, where you play as a U-boat. And you've seen the movie Das Boot, right?
Yeah. Yeah, boring fucking movie.
Dude, what?
I did not like that movie.
John Migda, thank you. Thanks to the EU. Thanks to the EU flu, Fonda works Saturday till April. Or Honda works. Fonda? Honda works Saturday till April. Wow. I hope you're getting extra pay for it. No, it's a fun game though. If you guys have seen the movie and you're not like Jack and you actually like it, Das Boot is way too long, but part of the length plays to the psychological impact of the parts where they're being hit with like the depth charges and shit. It just adds to the atmosphere of the movie, for me at least. Thank you, Corey. Had a great grandmother in Hamburg, Germany, lived through both world wars.
Wow.
Damn. She must know how to duck. No, but in the game Silent Hunter 3, once you sink something, and let me tell you, Jack, when you get to your patrol area, right, and you pull up your periscope and you see the enemy out there, because usually I play deep enough into the war where they're actually being escorted and stuff, so there's always destroyers and shit. You aim on that big ship in the middle and you watch it blow. There's a sick fascination with it. I just kept having to do it again. However, after you do that, these fucking boats are relentless. Relentless. You're under there and you have limited air, limited power, and you're just hoping they stop. Just please go away.
But
Please.
They don't, do they, Monkey?
They don't. And I'd played this after watching Das Boot, and I have this in my head, like, this is what those guys actually went through. And fuck them. They were Nazis, so I'm glad a lot of them ended up on the bottom of the ocean for what they did. But still, that had to be fucking... They were in a fucking tuna can.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's a lot of fun. If you guys have never... If you like war games or strategy games, that kind of stuff, Silent Hunter 3, they have a 4 and a 5, which are not as good. I believe you play as the U.S. in 4 and 5. There's a DLC, I think, that lets you play as the Germans or the Japanese, but they're not as good. 3 was just amazing. My grandfather survived both world wars. He was living in America at the time, but still. My grandfather survived the war and then came home and shot himself. Yay! Yay, PTSD. Way to bring us down, huh?
Yeah, my grandfather was an alcoholic who worked on the railroad.
Is this where you get your fascination with Asians?
No.
That's an Asian railroad joke, guys.
I do like me some railroad ladies, but no, it's developed and cultivated over many years of seeing their sexiness.
Gotcha. I want to ride the rails.
I want to ride some Asians.
Well, I mean, if it was offered, I'd still say no because I'm married. But still, my grandfather was in World War I. My father's in World War II. I wasn't alive quite yet, you prick. I feel like that's directed at me.
I had a feeling she had to type that like 3 times because she was so angry she kept misspelling words.
And it does say at Ranting Monkey, so I have a hint that that's directed at me. Oh, man. Compromise. Rail some Asians. There you go. Random in the clinch. My grandfather was a boxer. Cool. Anybody I've heard of?
Pretty awesome.
My real father. No, not my real father. Who was the guy? When I was growing up, because I didn't know my real dad back then. So this was somebody that my parents knew was a Golden Gloves champion. But then he decided to stop because he was an alcoholic. Never became anything of it. My grandpa was sunk, survived, and went back as a grunt in the Pacific War. Marine, by the way. Fuck. Wait. What was he on? I'm guessing he was not on a submarine because those guys, when they sank, they were just bye.
Yeah, shit way to die.
Yeah, fuck yeah. We're gonna send you in a tin can out here in the middle of the Pacific, or well, it depends on which war we're talking about. If you're the U-boats, it's on the other side.
I was watching a documentary about the was it the Monitor versus the Merrimack? That talk about tin can. Holy shit! Early sub from the Civil War. Death sentence, man. Death sentence.
Right. Over on the Streamlabs. Thank you, Jordan. Who says, "Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of green." Indeed, America the beautiful. I love America, Jack.
Yeah, we're pretty awesome. It's a beautiful country. So many different things to see. Lots of different topography.
We have everything. You name it, we have it. Unless it's something we don't want, like I don't know, the Coliseum. We don't want that shit here. There's probably a little Coliseum somewhere here. It's probably in a casino somewhere in Vegas. I have a Japanese bayonet my grandpa brought back from the war or from the Pacific. Has great victory for Japan carved on it. Whoops. My bad. Monk, no, he got lucky. His shift was up and his gun was blown up right after he switched out. Had to take a pay cut to go back as a grunt, but he held a grudge. Irish, by the way. There you go. That'll do it. Hold a grudge, man. You got a Marine who's got a grudge. Yeah. I know lots of people who've actually switched services during their time. My one friend, the one who died in Afghanistan, he left the Marines. Actually, he was a paratrooper, but he had to leave the Marines because he fucking shot his knees. He could still run and stuff, but he couldn't land anymore. And that shit'll take a toll on your knees, man.
Yeah, that'll do a number on you.
So yeah, he went back Army. No, he went back Air Force. My great grandpa was part of the Gestapo. Huh. Oh, dude, I had a teacher once who was related to John Wilkes Booth.
Damn.
Yeah. She didn't like to talk about it.
Yeah, I'd imagine not.
Well, we were young. I mean, this is 7th and 8th grade. And she mentioned this. We never put it together. Her name was Miss Booth.
Oh.
Right?
I had a boss when I worked mental health who was the cousin of Ted Kaczynski.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy Ted. The crazy cousin Ted, they called him. And I was like, yeah, how'd that work out? She's like, yeah, well, when it came out, we're all like, yeah, I could see it.
Well, the weird thing with Miss Booth is she's the one who brought it up. We would have never known. She'd bring it up and then like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, but why?
You don't get to just toss that out there and then leave it.
Right.
Like, here's a grenade of information. I'm just going to leave here to sit. See you guys later. And then she jumps off the stage and, 6 Semper Tyrannis and runs off.
I wish I was the smartass now that I am now, because anytime we would have had to go to the theater, I would have insisted she wasn't allowed to go.
Right?
Like, don't let Miss Booth come here.
Yeah, we're taking the student council president. We can't have her, okay?
She was a nice lady. She taught history. She's a history teacher related to John Wilkes Booth. Threw it out there and wouldn't talk about it. Virginia was a great place to grow up if you like history. There's a lot of history in Virginia, American history.
Yeah,
largely because many of our American Civil War battles were fought there. Oops. My grandfather died in a German prison camp. He got drunk and fell from the guard tower. Wow. I'm still a virgin, but I don't want to talk about it. That's all right. We don't want to hear about it. You're all right with that. There's a lot of... Jack, you know what I've learned during the show? Merle might be joking, but we actually do have quite a few virgins that watch us.
I'm okay with that.
I've never seen being a virgin as a negative. Look, I hope you get to dip your wick one day because it's awesome. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, well, most of these guys are young. They'll be able to do that. Just give them time.
If you're a woman, and I don't know what it feels like, so I hope you give it up to the guys who haven't been laid, because I think sex is fun, but I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of, and in our world it's treated like I don't know. It's like finding the holy grail. Like, whoa, you're a virgin and you're older than 14?
Yeah, I don't get the stigma. There's too many VDs out there, some of which are really nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just do what's right for you, and if you really want to get laid, go somewhere where they do that sort of thing. That's your decision. That's a personal thing. Doesn't matter. No, I don't think anybody really cares. It's peer pressure bullshit. So I don't think that's a big deal. Don't worry about it. You'll get there eventually.
Chris says, save yourself for your soulmate. Bullshit. Snub, thank you. It's a pain. The alphabet sexuals try to claim I'm asexual because of it. Till I argue with them, I'm an incel. Or until I argue with them, then I'm an incel. Gotcha. Just call them whores.
Yeah. Most of the people that
Shut up, whore.
This virgin shaming thing where they call people incels. Look, sometimes it's better to be an incel than a giant whore.
Yeah.
Because you're a good time girl then, ladies. And you're not gonna be the one they bring home to mom. You're just some hoe they're banging for a while. And guys, you're just gonna burn when you pee.
Now, I will say, if you're waiting for your soulmate, stop it. Doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a soulmate. No, soulmate. No. Mm-mm. There are just different people that you get along with better than other people. That's it. And for a hopeless romantic to be telling you that, you might want to listen, because it's nonsense. It is Harlequin bullshit. There's not just one person for each of us. It's not how it works. Monkey, who hurt you? Your mama.
The reason there's not just one for everyone is that there's actually many women for you, which is why we should have plural marriage. Polyamory for the win.
I understand why we don't have that.
Because too many men were getting murdered.
Well, you have that. You also have the women are catty and bitchy. And then, you end up with just too many men with all of the women. Because y'all women need more, self-respect. I'm going to go marry this guy even though he's got 6 wives already. Stop it. Whole mate is better than soulmate. God damn it. No, I don't believe in soulmates. I think that's nonsense. I love Lady Monkey with all my heart. But I don't believe we were destined to be together. It's taken a lot of work, Jack.
Relationships always do.
Yeah. As my great grandma used to say, there's a lid for every pot. Except for that's not true. Some pots are specifically made without lids.
And some pots love different lids on a rotating basis.
Some pots have too many lids. Too many lids. Let's see. Yet here you are together. Yeah, we're together, but not because we're soulmates. My dad was married 3 times. The first one was a crazy bitch, way before I was born. And then he met my mom, and they were married until she died. And then he met his 3rd wife, and they were married until she died. And he loved both of them. I don't know what happened with the first crazy bitch. I've never even met that lady. Apparently, she lives around here somewhere. But this is where my dad grew up and went to school. So most people don't leave.
Yeah, my hometown's like that.
Yeah, it's like Hotel California in the middle of fucking Michigan. But I don't believe that there's soulmates. I think the analogies are breaking down. Yeah. My dad married 3 times, mom 2 times, and then he came out of the closet. Your mom? Okay. Either that sentence is written really weird, or your mom is a dude who came out of the closet. Next time you write that, dude, my mom was married 2 times and my dad 3 times, and then he came out of the closet. Otherwise, it doesn't. Otherwise, you confuse people like me.
At least he came out before the 4th marriage, because
it's not gay to have a soulmate. No, it's just romantic bullshit.
I have met couples that I think were the sort of people that fit perfectly together, and they would be sort of soulmates. But the average person, I think that's more of a 1 in a million thing. The average person, I think there's a lot of different people out there. You just got to find them that you would be perfect with. But that's just really hard to do. And sometimes you just settle for that silver medal.
Yeah.
Don't go for the bronze. That's how divorces happen.
I don't believe in that romantic crap. I'm a romantic, Jack, but I don't believe in crap. I believe in love. Love's a real thing. Some people just think it's an infatuation. And for some people it is. They call infatuation love, and that's how rabbits get boiled.
Yeah, that's very true.
You got to be careful with the crazy bitches, because crazy bitches exist. And women, you got to be careful with the crazy dudes, because you don't want to end up,
in a ditch somewhere
as a news headline.
Yeah,
because that happens a lot.
Yeah.
I love that's part of we got to get the patriarchy because there's men who kill women. It's not like we get together and approve it. It's not like we have a council meeting. Jim wants to kill Martha. All in favor, say aye.
Why did you say that name?
God damn it. Why'd you say that? That's so fucking stupid.
I think you really hate that movie for no reason.
It's a bad movie, and that part is offensively stupid. Offensively stupid.
I saw what they were going for. It's fine.
No. You're in a murderous rage. This man is gonna kill all of the planet, and you stop because he says Martha.
Yeah, but he had been having visions of his mother's name bleeding and all these other things that were giving him like a complex almost. So he was focused on that name quite a bit up until that point in the movie.
I married my soulmate, then she mated with another soul. Now I'm happily single. Yeah, see? No, Martha, him shouting or saying when he's dying, Martha. And why'd you say that name? I'm going to stop killing you for a moment so I can ask you. Maybe he was banging your mom, dude. Maybe that's what got your mom killed. He was banging your mom and somebody got upset about it and they shot her. How's that feel? That would have been a whole different movie.
Well, it
would have been a better movie.
He said, save her, save Martha. And then he said, what? Batman says, why'd you say that name?
His mom's already dead. It's fucking retarded. Now, what he could do is have Superman fly around the planet backwards a whole lot until his mom was about to be shot and then go save her. He never thinks to do that, does he?
Well, they retconned that. He can't do that anymore.
I saw it in the movie. Yes, he can.
They changed that with Crisis.
I don't care. I didn't read that. So it doesn't matter.
Fair enough.
Martha, why'd you say that name? Shut up, bitch. You were killing him. You hated him enough to kill him because he says fuck you. Like if he says save Betty, he's gonna just fuck Betty. I'm still killing this motherfucker. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, you confused Stargazer though. She has no idea what the hell we're talking about.
We're talking about Batman versus Superman. I fucking hated that movie from start to finish.
I know. That's why I like fucking with you.
I fucking hated it. It was so bad.
I thought it was an okay movie. It just wasn't.
You hated Das Boot. Your opinion doesn't count.
Das Boot is fucking boring.
That movie is awesome.
Oh my god, it's like 4 hours of your life that you'll just black out on. If you want to know what a blackout feels like,
but 4 hours of Martha is fine.
That one was only 3 hours, and it had Batman and Superman in it. Yeah,
it had Hot Topic Superman in it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt and Flint, who says, Mom and Dad met February 8th and they were married March 15th. They celebrated their 58th anniversary and died 4 months apart. They're soulmates. I'm happy they lived long, and I'm glad they found each other and had a great life together. I just don't believe in soulmates. I don't think that's real. Once again, if you guys see me with my wife now, people, you guys are so cute. It's like you were meant to be together. Check us back in our 20s. Check us back then. Yeah. Be like, do you hate her? Like, no, I love her, but she's making me insane.
Alternately, you could listen to Lady Monkey on a nipple stream and hear her torture him and giggle with glee.
Yeah, no shit. Yes, it had Batman and Superman, but too little verses. Not only that, then you got fucking Apocalypse at the end, and he's there for like 10 seconds. Like, what? Or who kills Superman?
Doomsday?
Doomsday, sorry, not Apocalypse. My bad. I mixed up
franchise.
Mixed up my weird names.
Look, I thought Ben Affleck made a good Batman. I thought
bullshit.
I thought he was fine. I liked Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman in there. Thought that was fun. It was too dark. I'll give you that. DC movies should be a lot brighter and more positive. But yeah, I mean, it's not a good movie, but it's not a bad movie.
It is a bad movie. It is objectively a bad movie.
Nah.
Yes.
Nah.
Ben was good Batman. Ben was a good Batman. All his muscles wouldn't have been on his suit. At least they didn't try to pretend with Michael Keaton. It was just nice and slim still. They didn't give him a six-pack. Why is it so up on his... It looks like he's wearing linebacker pads up on his neck. What the fuck is with the... I don't like Ben Affleck.
I noticed. I generally don't either. Especially after seeing Daredevil. Oh, God, that was bad.
Now, see, I actually liked him in Daredevil.
How?
I can enjoy the Daredevil movie because I know very, very little about Daredevil.
Oh, that's fair.
What I didn't like about the Daredevil movie was Kingpin. And I don't mind that they had, what's his name? Rames?
Michael Clark Duncan?
Duncan, yeah. That they had him playing Kingpin. I don't care about the race swap. He's actually a good build and size for it if you're going to do that.
Yeah, he's a good actor. So,
but I mean, they just bitched him out. They did the movie thing. Like, we got to get rid of the villain immediately.
Yeah, that movie was just terrible. I'm sorry. Look, I understand that Ben Affleck overall is a kind of a crap person, and he's in a lot of turd movies. I think he's an okay director, but Daredevil was a worse movie on every level. And you're the one that liked Batman and Robin.
Bullshit. Daredevil is objectively better than Batman v Superman. And here's why. At least Daredevil, even if you think it's crap, ended after less than 2 hours.
Okay, on length it wins, but on quality it sucks.
It didn't have that little... I almost dropped an F-bomb. Oops. It didn't have that little weirdo playing Lex Luthor. That alone makes it a better movie.
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg ruins everything he's in. I'm not saying anything about that because I hate him. I think he's a garbage actor who thinks he's like the next Marlon Brando or something. But Jesse Eisenberg, I hated in everything I've ever seen him in, I think. So, yeah, I'll give you that. Jesse Eisenberg sucked. But
you've yet to give a good thing. Okay, you said you like Affleck.
I thought he was okay. Yeah, I thought he was fine. They could have cast way worse.
Real quick, had an interest in someone that was long distance, ignored it, thinking it won't work. 10 years go by and marriage crumbles and find out the interest is real. Together 5 years on 12/21/20. We met 8/22/05. People reconnect. It doesn't prove soulmates. Just saying. What happens if you find the love of your life and then unfortunately something happens to them, right? And then you find that another love of your life. You had two soulmates. That's just greedy. That means somebody's out there without a soulmate. They're soulless mated. They're soulmateless. But anyway, okay, so you have Ben Affleck is okay. What else? Okay, and Gal Gadot, which she's all right as Wonder Woman, although I'm not a fan of her accent. What about emo Superman? What'd you think of that?
I thought that was stupid. Superman should be a bright beacon, like a positive sign. He should always be in bright colors and not be this sitting around moping bullshit. Real quick, thank you, Evolved Potato. I think Monkey is confusing objective and subjective. And it's
I'm not.
And it's fine that Monkey has a wrong opinion. Thank you, Evolved.
No, I'm at this. I mean objective. That is an objectively bad movie. What is its score on Rotten Tomatoes? Anybody know?
Oh, who cares with that? They manipulate those numbers all the time.
Bullshit. You know it was crap.
I don't care. I thought it was an okay movie.
It was. But you didn't like Batman and Robin.
No, that movie's awful. And
that movie's awesome.
When I die, Joel Schumacher better pay up. Because I'm going to hunt him down and make him give me whatever currency they use in the afterlife worth $550.
That was a good movie. It was a lot of fun. It was nice and bright. There was bright colors in it. There was even neon, wasn't there?
Yeah, there were a lot of gratuitous ass shots and nipples on Batman and Robin's costumes.
Okay, the nipples are a definite minus, but they're still not Martha bad.
Well, it's also incredibly sexist because who didn't have nipples on their costume? Batgirl.
We're not allowed to talk about her.
Oh, because she was so chunky in that movie?
No. How dare you? Stop it.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of negatives to that film. They were flying all over the place. Alfred Headroom.
28% from the critics, 62% from the audience for Batman v Superman. I feel like Jack voted a lot on that one.
No, I think people hated it when they first saw it, but then they went back and watched Batman and Robin, and they're like,
"Why would you watch that fucking movie twice?"
Do
you just Batman v Superman? Are you just like, I know at the end I'm gonna have too much extra time, so I'm just gonna watch this shit again? That movie sucked ass.
I've only seen it twice, and they're really close together. So I'm just arguing to argue at this point because it's funny.
What about the Superman movie?
Man of Steel or the original?
Yeah, Man of Steel.
Oh, Man of Steel. I didn't really care for it. It had a few okay scenes, but overall it was too dark, and that washed out look really did not help it in any way.
I don't remember a moment of it. I watched it, but I don't remember anything of it.
You're not missing anything.
That to me is the sign of an exceptionally bad movie where it's like, I don't even care.
Yeah. It was too heavy on obvious, blatant religious metaphors and symbolism. And then it was like completely dark and gritty and didn't need to be. It should have been an uplifting, positive movie. Especially aim it for a younger audience, make it PG like the original was so you could take your kids to it. Instead, it was just a violent, boring, forgettable, washed out mess.
Hammer says the director's cut for BBS was better than the theatrical. That's like saying if you put a little chocolate on a turd, at least it tastes better. It's still a turd. The nips on Batgirl's suit would have been under the wings due to Super Chunk. Wow. Wow. No, they'd be under her belly. She wasn't laying down. Monkey v. Jack, the movie. I really did. I hated Batman v Superman, and I tried to like it. I love Batman, and I can even forgive. I didn't like Batman Returns. Seriously, buy Tim Burton a light bulb. Somebody, please, for the love of fuck. But I can at least appreciate the movie for what it was. I don't like Danny DeVito as the Penguin because they made him too. They made him like gross. And
well, I mean, he did live in a sewer.
Yeah, but I mean, his whole character. I mean, he actually looked like a penguin. He wasn't just a fat guy. I mean, he was shaped like a penguin.
Yeah, he was like a circus freak look.
Gamer Vleen, thank you. I watched it more than once solely because we were arguing Doomsday, Death of Superman, and the Italy deployment was boring. Fair enough. And Midnight in Exile, since the Rona ended my career, I've been giving handies behind the bodega to get by. I was going to pay rent, but figured, fuck it. I have enough Dominican load to tie me over until eviction court. Wow.
Gross.
Thank you so much for the donation. Batman Returns was made by a person who knew nothing about Batman. Well, I mean, he did the first movie too. Burton did both of those.
Yeah. The Batman Returns was more of a dark satire too. There's just a lot of in-jokes in there. But yeah, I can see why a lot of people didn't like that movie. I didn't like it for a long, long time, but then Batman and Robin came out. I was like, oh, Batman Returns isn't so bad.
Wow, you're just trying to make everything based on that.
No, Frosted right. Batman Returns was kind of loosely based on the cabinet of Dr. Kilgari.
What about we never talk about this. What about Batman Forever?
That was at best a mediocre movie with a good cast.
I suppose.
I liked Val Kilmer overall. I thought he could do the Bruce Wayne thing pretty well, but that script was a mess. And that was like the early stages of Batman and Robin because they the same director, but it had the nipples on the back costume. It had a lot of really over the top stuff, but it was a weird hybrid of the Tim Burton and the original 60s show.
Have they ever explained why they put nipples on the back costume?
Because Joel Schumacher was really big on gay propaganda in his films.
Well, that's fair, but has that been said out loud, or is that a guess?
Yeah, he said that in some interview.
Okay,
once that he wanted to make scenes for gay men.
Ah, gotcha. Fair enough.
Which is why there's all those ass shots in Batman and Robin.
Somebody should show that to Anita Sarkeesian because she tried playing the game and could not find Batman's ass.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's what she blocked me over on Twitter, was me mentioning Batman's ass.
I'm not surprised. She seems very quick with that block button.
Of all the things to block me, I said far worse things to her. Apparently, she's really touchy about Batman's ass.
I bet she is.
Tommy Lee Jones was better Two-Face than Eckhart. Eckhart, who I don't know who that is. Is that the guy who played him in the Bale movie?
Yeah.
They should have had Billy Dee do it.
Yeah, I think Billy Dee would have been a better choice because he was in the first movie as Dent. And to back cut like that was pretty lame. And Tommy Lee Jones was a little over the top. Aaron Eckhart's a good actor. I thought he did fine for the film he was in, but I don't know. That's kind of a personal preference thing like everything else.
Aaron Eckhart didn't get much time as that character. That's one of the problems with superhero movies. It's what ruined Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, too many characters.
Too many characters.
Yeah, they should have had a Two-Face movie of his own, and it would have been more interesting. Like, have him bust out of the hospital before Joker blew it up, and then just not be seen in that last sequence. They could have cut that entire part out, and the movie still would have been fine.
Yes, I meant Billy Dee Williams Two-Face. He played Harvey Dent in that's the first Batman movie, right?
Yeah.
In the original 89 Batman. Oh, the Spider-Man movies. You know, it is amazing to me how these other studios are so willing to just destroy properties that would have made them a shit ton of money and did make them a shit ton of money.
Yeah, they don't understand their own intellectual properties, and they don't bother to. They just say, okay, that sounds good, do it. or
Well,
or they just don't like the originals, even though sticking to it would make them more money.
Tobey Maguire is my least favorite Spider-Man by far. I want to beat him up. He does make me understand why Flash Thompson would beat up Peter Parker, but that their need to put Venom into Spider-Man 3, because that's what ruined it, guys. They forced Venom into that fucking movie. By then, I mean, the movies they strayed enough that I was still nitpicky because of my Spider-Man fetish. But throwing him in and then having Venom be just the saddest Venom I've ever seen.
Oh, it was emo Venom.
It was as bad as when they had Bane as Poison Ivy's little henchman instead of him being the guy who broke the bat, for fuck's sake.
Yep, it was just a big dumb brute.
Yeah. I'm not sure I like the way they used him in the Bale movie either, but
that was more comic accurate.
Yeah. I thought Venom was a good movie. You're wrong. Have you watched that yet? Oh, Venom was so bad.
I have seen it, but I honestly do not remember any of it.
They made Eddie Brock a sympathetic character.
Brock's an asshole.
Yeah.
It took him a long time to kind of become a hero as opposed to just being an asshole, which they've done with Venom very effectively in the comics. They've made him more sympathetic and more interesting. But he shouldn't be treated like a derpy idiot.
Well, they started him as sympathetic is the problem. He gets fired for cause, except for he was out there trying to find. He was about to break this story that was a horrible. He was fired for being a douchebag and fabricating stories.
Yeah, he was a liar. He ruined his own reputation, and he got busted on it.
And then the symbiote. Oh my god! Look, it's Black Cum. Which, granted, I wasn't sure how they were going to do Venom. It's very hard to do because it's not really defined in the comics. So you have a little bit of room to play, but it's so gross. But okay, I will say Lady Venom, even though she shouldn't have been in the movie yet, was hot. The chick in the Venom outfit, awesome. However, everything else, just trash. Absolute trash. Tom Hardy deserved better, and so did Spider-Man fans. And Venom fans, for that matter. So they fired him for being a typical journalist these days. In the original Spider-Man, yes. In the movie, they fired him because he looked in the girl's computer and spied on an Elon Musk kind of character. Oops. Okay, I'm sold on Lando Two-Face. That was easy. We didn't even argue for it.
Yeah, Billy D. Williams was a solid actor. He could have pulled it off well.
Much better, yeah.
Yeah.
And Tommy Lee Jones is a solid actor.
Yeah, but not in that movie. That was a weak.
They just went over the top with it.
Yeah, they were too over the top with it. Supergirl 1984 is one of the biggest cinematic travesties in history.
I have never watched it.
It's rough. Helen Slater looks really hot in the costume. Don't get me wrong. But that movie was just a mess, and you could tell they had no idea what they were doing or anything about the character at all. And it's bad.
The character of Supergirl never appealed to me. Superman doesn't really appeal to me. But I like the 80s movies. They were kind of cool. For as horrible as it is, I watched it again maybe a couple of years ago. Superman 4. I still like it for its campiness and for the what it was at the time. That was keeping superhero movies alive at the time.
Yeah.
But oh dear God, that was bad.
Yeah, that's a terrible film.
If
you're a little kid, little kids would like it. But it was awful.
You cannot have Venom movie unless Brock is a dirtbag and adult Peter Parker is married to Mary Jane and Brock assaults her. You can. I don't think you can do a Venom movie without the symbiote being on Spider-Man first.
Yeah, I think it makes it a lot harder because that's kind of the motif they go with. the whole Spider-Man thing.
He has a giant spider on his fucking chest.
Yeah.
All of the early Venom. I don't know if he still does these days because I don't read comics. But there's the big white spider.
Yeah, he's still like that. Look, they really should have had him in a Superman or a Spider-Man movie first, and then have him get rid of it, and then it attaches to Brock, then do the solo movie. That'd have been fine, but they're just lazy, and Sony is just trying to milk a couple bucks out of the franchise because they know that they're bad at them. So they're trying to desperately just to throw something out there because they have to make a Spider-Man movie every so many years or they lose the deal.
Yeah. But here's what they should have done. Especially if they want to make him even an anti-hero as they were doing in that movie. Start in the middle. Start in the middle of the Venom timeline. You don't always have to have an origin piece. You really don't. Enough of us know who Venom is that we could tell our friends when we went. And Spider-Man's a big enough character, and Venom is the big enough bad guy that people would have went and bought tickets and watched this, and you could have jumped in, just pick a time in his life.
Yeah.
And just go from there. Instead, no. They move him to what, Seattle? Is that where they put him in fucking
something like that?
Yeah.
Like
this stupid shit.
If they really wanted to bypass the origin, because their movie studios are obsessed with origin films.
Yep.
And I am sick of it. They could have just had him move while he already had the outfit. And
exactly.
then bypass that entirely and just have an adventure story. I would actually much rather have seen that.
And you know what? I could forgive them not having the spider on the suit because, okay, with the deal with Marvel, they can't use Spider-Man, and I'm guessing therefore they couldn't use the spider.
No, they can actually.
Oh, well then, yeah. That should be on there. Well, I know that with their deal, there's certain things they're not allowed to do at the moment, even though they have technically the rights to Spider-Man. It's a weird deal they have worked out.
Yeah, but they could still do like a Miles Morales Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, it just
did
can't
They did the animated one. He had the spider on him. Because remember, they did Into the Spider-Verse during this deal.
Well, see, I'm wondering if it's different for their animation.
I don't think it is. I think they just made an executive decision to be stupid.
I just think you jump into the middle, and that way you don't even really have to acknowledge Spider-Man at all. Have him, a great thing, if you wanted to make an origin story here, have the origin of the other suits. Have the origin of all of the other symbiotes.
Yeah, just to have Eddie already have the symbiote, and then you just do the origin for the others.
Yeah, I mean, they're already going to do that with the second one. They're bringing in Carnage.
Yeah.
Which is going to be weird because they've already set this fucking weird Transformer-esque bullshit story that the aliens are coming down and they're going to invade Earth, and each of them are different instead of them all coming from Venom. Venom's their daddy. And now,
yeah, there are other symbiotes though.
Yeah, I'm talking about the origin.
Yeah, but they
made an origin.
What they could have done, and honestly, what I would have preferred they had done is made Venom the villain, because they could have gone with the way the animated series introduced Venom, and have John Jameson bring it back from space.
Sure.
And John Jameson also picked up the Bloodstone, and he is Man-Wolf. He's a werewolf. So he has this gem embedded in his neck that turns him into a werewolf. And they could have had him fight Venom. And Venom be a villain until the end of the movie. And then he's like, okay, I'm not going to kill people or whatever. Or they have to team up to fight the other symbiotes. That would have been more interesting. And then they could have introduced another character that they have the rights to and made a spin-off movie for that one too. And set up their own cinematic universe that way. But they're not thinking that way. They're thinking only of what's going to work right now for a quick influx of cash.
This was sent to me over here. What is this? Women are more attracted to prospective romantic partners who participate in social justice activities, indicating moral outrage, than control activities like sports, particularly for long-term relationships. Yeah, unfortunately, you can't see this whole thing, but recent findings suggest that moral outrage serves an interpersonal function of signaling trustworthiness to others, and such perceptions play a uniquely important role in identifying social opportunities. We conducted 4 studies investigating how behavioral displays of moral outrage are perceived in the specific context of mating. Results indicate participants, particularly women, found prospective mates espousing outrage more desirable. Sorry, this is really small text here, guys. I'm trying my best. Espousing outrage more desirable for long-term mating, and this perception of desirability was similarly inferred among same-sex raters. Gay people like SJW activities. I'm shocked because it's gay. We further replicated findings in study 1 while additionally considered the basis of women attraction towards outrage behavior. You know what this is telling me, Jack?
That I'm going to get laid a lot.
This is telling me that what guys have known for a long time, women get mad, you just pretend that you agree with them and they'll sleep with you.
Yeah.
This has been a thing since at least the 60s. Guys used to do it all the time. Guys still do it. Yeah, guys, if you want to get laid, it's actually pretty simple. Sorry, ladies, I don't mean to give away your secrets here, but pretend to care what they care about. It's odd that they would find that attractive. Now do that same study without SJWs. Have like women from the South who drive their own pickup truck. Ask them, do you like this guy in tweed or this roughneck?
It just kind of sounded like they meant outrage, but not necessarily. They're inferring SJW stuff. Lots of people get outraged. I get outraged, dumb shit all the time.
Let's see. Men and women attraction towards outrage and control targets with standard error bars. For women, the outrage. Okay, the control group, which I'm guessing is the manly guys, they rated about 2.5. And the outraged guys, they rated at about 2 3/4 stars. So they win Star Search.
Star Search, nice reference.
I used to love Star Search, man. You know, I like Star Search. It was one of the few places, especially if you didn't have cable because you were poor and you couldn't pay the cable bill, so they turned it off, that you could still see stand-up comedians.
That's true.
Yeah. I didn't care about the dancing and all that. I just wanted to see the stand-up guys.
It was America's Got Talent before America's Got Talent.
Plus, it had Ed McMahon going, and you'll get 3 1/4 stars. Happy 4th, Pat.
Yeah, happy 4th, man.
And you know what? Seeing Pat here, this reminds me on this 4th of July. Thank you to all of the men and women who have served and from the very beginning just gave us a country, dude.
Absolutely.
Men went to war for this shit. Kicked them fucking hoity-toity, fucked up teeth British to the curb. Get out. We want dentistry. That's what it was really started over.
It's a dentist war.
I'm tired of being able to chew without opening my mouth. That's not nice. I forgot what it's. Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you really want to get laid, guys, just make women think you care about what they care about. Whether it's outrage, whether it's working out, whether it's Real Housewives of Orange County, whatever it is, women will put out if they think that you agree with them. Give me dentistry or give me death. Star Search, the poor man's gong show. Nah, I didn't. It was different because it was a competition between people. The gong show was you just get up there. The gong show is actually more of the America's Got Talent because that was, just who everybody came up and it was just no categories wherewith Star Search. They had specific categories that came up at each time. Can I get you to drop the link to that article in chat? It's not an article. It's to a. Let me find it again. It looks like it's to one of these research things where you have to be subscribed in order to see the whole thing. I don't know if you do. I'll have to look at it more later. But I'm not reading that whole thing on stream. The short of it is they asked a whole bunch of SJW women, hey, do you like guys who get mad about the things that you feel passionate about? Or do you like guys who are controlled? What woman's going to say they like a controlling guy? Do you like controlling men? Well, yes, I don't like to have my own opinions.
Yeah,
now, I guess that would be...
Well,
yeah. The Gong Show was America Has Weirdos. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of weird shit that happened on the Gong Show. You can still go find some funny clips on the old YouTubes. Jack, you weren't here for that. I got monetized again.
What?
All of my green circles are back.
Wow.
I'm guessing Ethan Klein. It's either Ethan or Keemstar because the two of them were both trying to take credit for, helping everybody.
They probably both, between the two of them, that probably did. I mean, it probably took both, but.
Well, you got to remember, last night Ethan told us he called Susan. He got off the phone with Susan. Maybe she called him. Maybe she has his personal number. Susan, baby, why aren't you calling me, honey? I could have told you about all this shit 5 days ago before these two assholes even knew it was happening. I'm so tired of being ahead of the curve, Jack.
Well, she had to wait till the homeless contingent and the scary Satan-looking guy contingent came in and told her what's what.
Ethan's like, if you don't give these people their monetization back, I'm going to blink at you real weird.
I'm going to stare at you and do my weird eye thing.
Nuts says that makes me happy. And you know what, Nuts? Thank you so much because I know she put my name in there in the one Ethan was asking about. So if I got it back because of that, it's because of her. So, sweetheart, you are a peach. Which, by the way, is my favorite thing I learned from the movie Tombstone. That's a compliment.
Yeah, everybody likes peaches, right?
Yeah.
The sticky bits.
Although I can't think of peaches, there was a girl that I worked with at Walmart who told us a story that has forever ruined peaches for me.
Oh, no.
She said she was watching her grandma rinse out her underwear at the end of the night. And she asked her grandma, why do you always do that? And her grandma told her because peach juice stains.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
So anytime I say the word peach, I get that fucking image in my head too.
Hey, when I was in middle school, a girl got a hot dog stuck up her vagina and it broke off, and then she had to go to the doctor and get it removed.
That is a very random story, Jack.
It changes the way you look at cookouts.
I suppose so. That gives a whole new meaning to throwing a hot dog down a fucking hallway, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Oof.
She was ironically the first person I thought of when I heard that phrase. It's like, that's what happened.
I bet. And yet sin is still a broke mofo. One, I wasn't part of anything. This was Scribe asked tonight why this has become a thing, right? Because apparently Count Dankula got his monetization back.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's like, well, that's been months. Yeah, this was something that just happened. YouTube fucked something up like they always do. Bob in the break room was left alone with a computer and he started pushing buttons. And this was something that was really weird that so many of us just instantly not only all got the yellow circles, Jack, but I was still getting comments. Like I said, I told you, they told me I did a good job. And then they told me I did their system is still looking somehow. I didn't see if I can ask for reviews because that was the really weird part about what happened to mine is that they manually reviewed shit before I'd even spoke a word.
I heard somebody else, because I follow YouTube, one of their channels on Twitter, and somebody else had said that they were already reviewed and changed as well. So it wasn't just you that was happening to.
Well, I think what happened with that is that they clicked something and it just gives you the same warning that it gives after you've actually had the review. So somehow they accidentally turned off the ability for a review when they turned off everything else. I don't know what they were up to. But I do wonder how much of their willingness to fix it was because of all of the outrage of people going, this looks really fishy, like you guys are trying to help fix an election.
Yeah. I still hope they get investigated for, because I still think they are doing that. But people are asking if you know if Sin got his monetization back.
I haven't talked to him, so I have no idea. I can reach out to him and ask, but yeah, Sin's probably well asleep right now. If he's otherwise he's if he's up at this hour, he's probably drunk. Not that's a bad thing, you know. He's out having fun with with his woman and everything. That's a perfectly okay thing to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's 3:00 in the morning, so most normal people aren't up like right now, Jack. It's just us and our wonderful audience. I do know that Ethan specifically tweeted tweeted Sin's channel to YouTube in relation to all this.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Midnight in Exile on this. Ethan's probably up to something, so he's trying to build goodwill before he does something stupid and shady.
Well, this is the funny part about this, and I did bring it up last night, guys. I'm gonna do it again. Ethan swears up and down that him and that he doesn't know Susan at all. He has no power.
Right.
And he says that because there was a video taken down. If you go way, way, way back to when all of the harassment rules changed and suddenly we're not allowed to make fun of people anymore, there was a video that had been made about Ethan like 2 years ago that just fucking destroyed him. Showed you what an asshat he was. And that video all of a sudden goes down. Now, at the time, Susan had released a blog about all the changes coming up and mentioned in there that she had talked to some creators about the harassment issue. And you know who she mentioned?
Ethan Klein.
Ethan fucking Klein. And he's like, no, it's pure coincidence. Well, a funny thing happens when he's talking about it on a stream one day. I don't even know this guy. I've never even looked him up. So he starts to type his name into the address bar and it pops up. It autofills and it's purple. Purple on default means you've already clicked it. So not only had he already been there, so he's been to the channel and he did a stream last weekend before where he addresses all of this stuff. And everybody gave him props because he finally addressed it. Motherfucker says, well, lots of people use this laptop. Somebody else must have done that.
Yeah, right.
Lots of people use your laptop. You think that's a good fucking idea?
Especially if you're logged into your YouTube channel?
For fuck's sake, kiss my ass.
I don't trust the guy. I think he's disingenuous.
I think he's a liar.
Yeah, he's a liar. He looks smelly.
And he does a weird thing with his eyes.
Yeah, I just don't like him. And I don't have to like him. But, I'm sure he's friends with Susan. And just doesn't want to say anything because...
You know he's got pull. He just showed us he has pull.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I just got off the phone with Susan. What? So she was like, oh, my God, I got to take Ethan's call. But you don't, no pull at all. No pull at all. Kiss my ass. Lying motherfucker. And then now people are patting him on the back. And you know what? If you did that for people, great. Thank you, Ethan, for what you did for some people. But fuck you for the ones you screwed over beforehand.
Yeah. Didn't he take money for a fundraiser or something and not deliver on some project?
No, not exactly. That one, there's a lot of confusion about. This is the... what is it, FUPA? Yeah, not the best name. The foundation for I forget what it's called exactly, but it was supposedly it was originally made so that they could pay their legal bills in the First Amendment lawsuit that they had going on.
Oh, okay.
And there's people who thought there should have been extra money in there. He says they spent it all. And so there's just nothing left. So there's nothing else to deal with. But what he doesn't answer is why he didn't keep pushing it like he said he was going to. Why he got a lot of fame off of that. Yeah. And he could have kept pushing it. Hey guys, we need to get some money to help other YouTubers. Now he got silent as soon as he won. As soon as he won his case.
I was thinking that he was going to create some kind of fund for people that were in the same situation, like some sort of grant thing to help pay legal fees.
That's what the FUPA thing was.
Oh, okay.
They set it up when the GoFundMe was set up for them. He claims he didn't make it. I don't know if he did or not.
Did he buy a house around that time too?
Well, don't talk about his $10 million home. We're not allowed to. They spent almost all their money on this case. Look at our beautiful... Oh, actually, you're not supposed to look at their beautiful home, even though it was in a fucking magazine. He accused somebody of doxing him for showing his house. Like, bitch, it was in a magazine. His pictures are online. But yeah, the guy was just pointing out his $10 million home. He's like, you doxed me. My children live here. Bitch, you let a magazine come in. Does that seem safe? Anyway.
Won't somebody think of the children?
Irate Alex was restored. Yeah, he was another one who he uploaded a video and immediately it supposedly had been manually reviewed. But at least his is what there was words to it. My streams I hadn't even fucking talked about. Yeah, I don't like Ethan, and I don't know what happened with the FUPA thing. I don't much care. I'm willing to believe that they had to spend all that money because court is expensive. And I think it's fucked up that he didn't support it the way he said he was going to. He had a lot of... He got depressed, Jack. He got really depressed there for a while.
Well, I'm sure he could wander the halls of his mansion while he was sad.
I am so tired of people coming out and depressed as their excuse.
Yeah.
I was depressed. It's the new alcoholism. Oh, I'm an alcoholic.
I was going through a rough patch there. That's why I collect boulders, though.
Yeah, that's not an excuse to be a shithead. I was so depressed during that time, you guys. Talk to your counselor about it. Get your ass to work. You say, I don't like the way he manipulated the community, and he claims, no, we didn't have anything to do with it. Bitch, you went out there and pushed your lawsuit as hard as you could and said you were fighting for all of us. Stop pretending you didn't. Stop it. Lying, weird-eyed bitch. It's like his eyes are having seizures, man.
They are.
How the fuck do you have seizures in your eyebrows?
Oh, you were his eyebrows. You'd try to escape too.
Trying to get away from the dirt.
Yeah.
And why? Okay, look. I said, okay, look, not okay, Google. Stop it. Stop it. Damn it. Anyway, I just confused myself. Oh, facial hair. Either he's cutting it that way or that's as much as it'll grow. And either way, he needs to do something different.
I think he's one of those swarthy guys that like grows facial hair really quickly. But he's not fully developed because he doesn't grow quite like a full beard.
It's so patchy and like, you just look homeless. The fuck? Monk, it's mild Tourette's. Well, get some fucking duct tape and tape your eyebrows to the back of your head so they stay still. It's fucking weird, man. Now I'm really going to get in trouble. I'm insulting the golden boy.
Now you're going to have to let her touch it instead of just seeing it.
Those eyes, man. Every time he does it, it's like, stop it, motherfucker. How dry are your eyes that you have to do that? Get some Visine, motherfucker.
It's not about his eyes, though. It's about, like, uncontrolled reflex or something.
Yeah, it's his brain going, we're lying. And him going and trying to tell the lie anyway. Stop lying. And it manifests in his fucking eyebrows. He's having a fight with himself and his eyebrows. It's fucking
Doing an
weird.
eyebrow semaphore to warn us.
Oh, man. Anyway, yeah, good on you for actually doing something for the community instead of just for yourself. Although, I got to say, seems a little self-serving.
Of course it is. Like Midnight said, he's up to something. And it won't surprise me a bit.
I mean, he just admitted that he lied. I can't get Susan on the fucking phone. I know a lot of big YouTubers, much bigger than me, who couldn't get YouTube. Fuck, Sinatra can't even get YouTube to fucking answer him.
Yeah, much less pay him the money that he earned.
Right. They owe him thousands of dollars. Yeah. But no, I've never really talked to Susan. I have no control over what they do. We didn't talk about this. Motherfucker, she said you did. She told us all. It's in a fucking blog post. We didn't make it up.
Well, that's one of those things. If you deny enough, people will believe you. They'll believe him over Susan on a blog because they're fans.
His eyebrows are trying to have a thumb war. You know what, Ex-Boba Hotep? It kind of looks like that. I can't take it, man. The only way I can take it is to look at the rest of his face and go, yeah, I'd try to escape too. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up on his funky ass eyebrows because, it's the 4th of July. You should get out there today and have some fun. Whatever fun is for you. The girls are coming back over, and so it's going to be another family day, which might make the show rough tonight, Jack, because I won't have anything to talk about. I'll be with the girls all day.
Nice.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you so very much for the donations. You guys are very, very kind. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll throw some links to my latest videos in chat and my Roll for Sandy channel. So thank you for the donations. You guys are amazing. Your support is very much appreciated.
Dale Hayes says, might I suggest checking out Haley's stream after this one? Oh, almost always do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Tonight will be on my channel, 9 p.m. Eastern time for Lords of the Night. There won't be a game stream, guys. There's just not time between me actually getting some sleep, playing with the kiddos, and then the stream later tonight. There won't be one until it's, maybe after Lords of the Night tonight. Guys, happy 4th of July. We live in a great country, and I hope you understand that. Are we perfect? Is our history perfect? Of course not. No one's is. That doesn't mean we haven't done an amazing job with everything. With science, technology, human rights, all of that stuff. Was it perfect at the beginning? No. Is it perfect now? No. But we're pretty fucking awesome. Happy 4th of July. Jack, thanks for joining me, my friend.
Always a good time. Happy 4th, everyone.
Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
I'm not singing about the flag and my dick together.